IKIM FM, inspirasi utama anda. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon to all dear listeners of IKIM FM. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hello Brother Roger. I'm your host, Patricia Afrina. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for listening to us from wherever you are. Either you are listening to this through radio or even through our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube. So for this week's episode, you'll be tuning to the second part of the interview that Brother Roger and I had with Damian Mikhail, who is a music producer, composer, and also a singer who is going to share his journey on Hidayah.
During the Shahada, I did feel a sense of peace that I've never. It's like, when you achieve something, the feeling of like, oh, I scored a goal, or I managed to win the league, or I had that feeling of success, and I felt that it was a great second chance at life, because I also understood that if I were to take the Shahada, my mistakes in the past,
Yes.
MashaAllah, Allah is most forgiving, and it would be omitted in a way that gave me a second chance to restart my life in a better way. And I felt that, that's such a great opportunity. If, a job opportunity came to me, if I was paying well and it had a lot of rewards, why would I turn it down, right? So when this came along, I'm like, I'm not going to turn this down. And it gave me a sense of like, I guess I found my purpose.
Yeah, okay. That's right. MashaAllah.
Yeah, because all this while I've been a singer, I wanted to produce music, and I've achieved this. And when I achieved everything, I felt that no, it's just like not enough. So then I realized, no, that's not really the purpose of my being here in the world. And then when, like I said, stages, Hidayah. So when I got into Islam, I reverted into Islam. I learned about the religion, and the more I learned, I wanted to share. I was excited to share. So then I realized that, the more I share, there were some people who could accept it, and some people who didn't accept it.
Correct.
But that was the journey as well. So in order to keep me in my faith, I could have given up. But Allah, Alhamdulillah.
Did you come to that point?
Yeah. Because there were a lot of challenges back then. I had a lot of friends who were in different settings. Like example, we were sitting down on the table, we were talking about someone else. Now I'm not on that table anymore, so I start becoming the topic. And I realized that the settings also, I used to perform in clubs and those kind of settings. So I realized that goals were also different. So when they called me and I called them and we wanted to have a conversation, we realized that we didn't have anything in common to talk about anymore, because my goals were different, and they were still there. So for me, I guess that's my journey, and I had to learn how to lose friends, lose family, had to be misunderstood in so many ways. Because when we become reverts, they think that automatically we are alim, or automatically we are,
the chosen one.
Yes, and we think we are better than them and whatnot. So, those are the things that I had to overcome by just going through it.
But it's not a easy journey, right? Being in the limelight, right? At that point, you were in the limelight, and also that to move to totally like just not being in the line, or that's not your purpose anymore.
Yeah.
Right? To move, how did it feel like? Was it like, because you made the choice, right? But it's not going to just snap in and come and everything is, you're just going to go on the right journey, right?
Yeah.
So the transition period would have been like so much of hard, like what you just said, right? It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not only involved your fans, because you're known. It also involved your personal, your
circle,
family,
inner circle.
Your circle, your inner circle, your family. How did you go through it?
Well, Alhamdulillah. In my case, I guess Allah had made it really easy for me, because the people that mattered, they gave me an easy path.
Okay.
Surprisingly, because especially my mom.
Oh.
Because my mom, she was very ardent and very steadfast with her faith.
Okay.
And she was one of those who had the very, very biggest misconception of what Islam was about.
Okay.
Mainly because of life experiences, who she met in the past and whatnot.
Okay.
And from there, I don't know. I guess like I said, I've always been a rebel. So when I was told to do certain rituals or certain things in the past to worship in terms of worship, I used to question them.
Why should I do this?
Why should I do this? And then they always will tell me, "You small boy, you don't know anything. You just follow.
Just follow.
Just follow." You know. And I didn't have the liking for that because I felt like I wasn't in control of my life. You know. But then again, like I said, when I found Islam, I understood what I was doing, and I understand that there are certain things that I can't understand at that moment.
So, let me stop you there. So, are you a rebel now?
I am.
You're still?
Always will be.
Even after Muslim?
Yes, because I keep questioning things. I mean, within the Islamic fold as well, there are a lot of things that, you see, the shaitan doesn't tell us to not be Muslim, but he tells us and hasud us to,
to go back to the...
No, to be arrogant.
Arrogant.
Yeah, sometimes when we actually have the knowledge of Islam, then we feel empowered. And that turns us into a different person.
Yeah, correct.
And then we become judgmental over other people's trials and tests. And
I think the word rebel, it doesn't suit lah, because it's. I think after you become a Muslim, like you're more of a questioner person. Like you always like want to know, like
it's like someone
you're
curious.
just so curious. Like how come? Like I understand. I mean, from what you said lah.
Well, rebellion in a way is also given a misconception. Because there is positive rebellion. I mean, for a country to be to change. In order to change, you see, you need to put on pressure, not only to yourself, because it is like it is a quest for freedom, or is a request for success. To make diamonds, you need pressure, right? So I believe that life is such where it's a journey where you're given pressures at certain times, which shapes you to who you're going to be in the future. So. Yeah, I guess that's a part of it. Of course, I mean, the seeking of truth is one thing, but the seeking of peace is another thing. But you know, like I said, it's different for everyone. So we should have more new Muslims come on your show and share.
Exactly, right.
And this show has to keep on going because there's just tons of stories to share.
Mashallah. But in just a very quick thing I want to ask you, in the process of your revert journeys, right? Was there any like really big challenges that you face? Like, was there something that really like? Yeah, I know you talk about shaitan and all. Yeah, we know we all been go through that.
Yeah, our demons.
Yeah. So because in the beginning when you become a Muslim, probably the small guy will come lah, you know, hasud lah. Now could be bigger lah, you know.
Yeah.
Now could be, you know, it's more of a Iman.
Yes.
And when you talk about your Iman, probably there's more things that you've been, you know, because the agreement with Allah, the shaitan with Allah is that dia akan menyesatkan kita in whatever way. You know, probably in the beginning he don't want you to go and pray, but now you are praying already.
Yeah.
You know, probably he's just showing you the sweetness of the world. Like, you know, you have this, hey, you got popularity, you got women, you got this, you got money. Come on, man, go and have fun, you know, the kind of thing. So was there, in that particular time when you became a Muslim, was there some thought like you had that challenge? Like you feel like, oh goodness, oh mashallah, Allahu Akbar, you know, like that point, because that is a very point that sometimes a lot of our new Muslims, you know, they are challenged, but they don't know what actually to do. They don't know it's a challenge of Iman, of course.
Yep.
You know, they just thought that, you know, like so many surroundings will come. Was there some point in your life?
I've always been a long haul guy, so I believe in winning the league, not really just one game. I believe that you need to win, lose and draw games in order to know your true potential at the end of the season. I always use football as an analogy because it's general and everybody would understand it.
Balance lah.
Yeah. And for me, in terms of like the challenges, yes, of course, there were challenges, and there were times where I felt that, oh, you know, if I didn't do this, I would be able to get back into the industry and make a lot of money and still be famous and whatnot. And, you know, I was also thrown with struggles in life itself, you know. And I felt that sometimes, I wanted to give up. I wanted to like just balik lah, you know. But it's about being steadfast with your decision. I've always been, like I said, a rebel. I've always been stubborn, and because of my stubbornness, that kept me. I guess that's something that Allah has blessed me with, to be able to understand that. Oh, if I made this decision, I got to stick by it, and I believe that it is the right path, because I may not understand it now. I'm just afraid that if I don't go on the next mile, I would not be able to understand it forever. Right? So the lessons may come later on. So it's about teaching us patience as well. So in a way, when I was learning Islam, and in order to stay within the faith, to be able to be steadfast with my belief, I had to improve myself as a person. So like, I was an impatient man before. Now I have to change that. I have to be patient in order for me to actually get the rewards, right? But then again, I realized that Islam itself is not a faith of rewards alone.
Yeah.
It's about submission. That's why we are called Muslims. We submit to the command of our Creator, and that's our purpose.
Correct.
To serve Him, right?
Correct.
And whatever He gives us, whether good or bad, it's because He knows what's best for us.
Correct.
Sometimes we might think that we know what's best for our future, and this is when I realized that I have the ultimate freedom, because even if I try something and I fail, it doesn't matter anymore. And this is great for my mental health. If I'm depressed, I have someone to talk to at all times. I'm never alone. And there was no reason for me to actually turn back.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully, I mean, like, my story will inspire other people to those who have questions about Islam.
Correct.
I mean, that's why we have the show.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, so they can ask
So-
anything they want.
And also, the other thing is that not many people come to your point. I've met so many people, brother, and our listeners for you, and also Patricia, that when they chose Islam, they are not able to leave everything behind. What I mean by leave everything is the the sweetness of the world.
The habits.
Yeah, the habits, the money, the haram things that they're doing, and so on. And this happens even to the born Muslims.
Yes.
Today, not many people will say that I know the truth, but I cannot give up my whatever I have.
Yeah.
And of course, when they go through the journey that Allah tests them and start losing it, that's how Allah is showing that, they love them. And, Allah loved them,
It's like how much you want to sacrifice for
so
God.
for our brothers, like, that's why I say, when someone become a Muslim, there's so many sacrifices been done. Besides their, their surrounding, their life, and sometimes they have been just pulled out from everything they have, just because they realize that what they were doing is all mostly is towards the world, or it's a haram thing that they were doing, right? When they become a Muslim, they know that this is wrong, which ultimately we know it's already wrong. If you're a drinker, it is haram. Why in Islam? Because there's so many things that lead to other sins. If you're a drinker, if you're taking drugs, it's also haram. Why? So these are the things that is already written. But in Islam, it's already like, that when you become a Muslim, a lot of people change their whole life.
Yeah.
That comes with the challenges, right?
Yeah.
It's not that you leave everything and then you don't have challenges. And this is the thing that we need to realize in our new Muslims, or even our Muslims.
Even the Muslims themselves.
Yeah, when they've decided to hijrah.
Yeah.
They want to be, really focusing on akhirat, and we seldom see that happening, right? But if it happens, they also challenge like us.
Yeah. As I mentioned, I mean, like, Hidayah comes in different forms and different times, and it in stages. So it keeps coming back. But what we need to do is we need to ask Allah to always give us Hidayah.
Yes.
Keep us in the right path. That's why we recite the Al-Fatiha in our prayers, right?
Right. And guide us always. Always
Yeah.
guide us.
So I totally agree with you in terms of challenges and whatnot. That will come. Struggles are not a bad thing.
Yeah.
When we look at struggles as a bad thing, then yes, we fall and we become negative. But when we look at things in a way where everything is a learning process, and we have to go through the struggles so that we come out of it better and stronger, then I guess that we would also look at that as a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we just need to be grateful.
Yeah. The other thing I realize, right? A lot of people when they I like what you just say, struggle, right? When we are struggle and we are challenged, right?
Yeah.
We always look and we always talk about the challenge. We always talk about it in the sense that we always seolah-olah we berzikir masalah tu.
Yes.
So what comes to you is the masalah.
Yeah,
Yes.
just keep talking about
Yeah,
it,
you keep on
mentioning it.
zikir, the same thing, when you're in trouble, right? You keep on talking about it, you become stressed. You actually, in that process, you probably would have got, you don't have high blood pressure, tiba-tiba ada high blood pressure.
And that makes it difficult to solve the problem.
But as a Muslim, if you're listening today, if you have a problem, you should berzikir pada Allah.
Yes.
You should ask the guidance of Allah.
Yeah.
Because when you zikir to Allah, your life, your cells in the body, everything is actually, really focusing on Allah. Rather than the problem.
Yeah.
And this is what I learned when I became a Muslim as well in the beginning.
Yeah. I think that a lot of reverts learn Islam in a way where they of course they learn the basics and fundamentals of the
Fardu
Rukun
Ain,
Iman,
yeah.
the Rukun Islam, Rukun Iman.
Yeah.
But these two pillars of Islam and articles of faith will not mean anything if you didn't have Rukun Ihsan. Meaning, we have to understand that whatever we are learning, we are doing, our being itself, what we do is for Allah. So when we go back to the purpose, like I said, why are we doing something? If I love a woman, it has to be I love her because of Allah.
Yes.
I get married because of Allah. I
yes.
eat today because of Allah. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful that Allah has given me this chance.
Allahu Akbar.
Allah doesn't need us to worship Him,
Allah.
right? But we need to
We
worship.
need to worship Allah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In order, for us to exist. So, I when I understand this concept of how everything works, and I realize that I have to do everything sincerely, including reversion. That's why I took a little bit of time, because I realized that I need to be sincere before I do something.
Yeah.
I used to smoke. I used to do things that are haram and whatnot. But you see, that's the thing. A lot of people think that they have to quit all that before coming into Islam. Ideally, that would be great. But Allah is most forgiving. Right? And we think that we can forgive someone, but Allah can forgive. So we just need to ask. And the process is very simple. You need to take that first step. The first step is, okay, I am sincerely wanting to learn, and I sincerely want to embrace and change myself for the sake of Allah. Right? And even if it comes to the point of, okay, I have to say the Shahadah today. Okay, learning what it means itself is already you reciting it, understanding it, right? And once that is done, you're already considered on your way to your journey as a Muslim. Because we're all born Muslims, but that's just a starting point of you to declare and say that, yes, I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it now,
And then the changes will come as they go along, because they'll be learning along the way. There will be challenges that come. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I want to make a U-turn. That will come no matter at what point in life. Being a Muslim, born Muslim or a revert, you will always have that temptation of wanting to take the easy way out. Doing haram things is enjoyable and easy.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people do it. Doing the right thing and doing halal things is all about struggles.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people shy away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to go the next step.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Yes.
It's a struggle they have to go through. Because in order for you to be good, right, to be better for the sake of Allah, you need to train yourself.
Yes.
How come you want to be a doctor, right? Wow. You don't only learn, but you have to practice it in order for you to go and become a doctor,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
But even as a Muslim, you can't say that I'm a Muslim, I've learned. No, you have to practice it.
Yes, practice.
You have to train yourself. Like, for example, if you don't solat subuh, you have to train yourself. And it's not an easy struggle,
Even many Muslims out there struggling with it. Not
if you're not going to masjid, then you have to train yourself. If you belum berzikir, then you have to train yourself. You can't just saying, oh, I want to go to the masjid. It doesn't happen that way.
Yes.
You know, you have to ask Allah to guide you. Ya Allah, I want to be closer to you. Please help me. You know, please give me the give me the hidayah. You know,
Yes.
guide me always towards you. You know.
You know, I just wanted to share this thing where I learned along the way throughout my journey. I realized that a lot of people there's this thing where when we read the Quran, it is also promoted that we read and we actually cry when we read. You know, and I actually found that really odd and weird at the start. I didn't understand it. I was like, why would I want to cry reading? You know.
We are men, right?
Yeah. The whole alpha thingy kicked in,
Allah Akbar.
and then I realized, it's not easy to read and cry because it's not easy to be sincere.
Yeah.
Truly, you know, and what I wanted to try, I couldn't cry. And then I realized, something's not right because my other friends could do it. So when I was speaking to one of my sheikhs, he said that sometimes you need to force yourself to cry, and then it becomes a natural thing. It just kicks in, right? So you just need to take that step. To just do it anyway, even if you don't believe in it or what. But if it's there, then you have to trust because, as we don't see Allah. A lot of people ask us, so how do you know He's there? Right? That faith. This is why it's called faith, and that's our test. The other test is also to be kind to others who do not have the hidayah yet.
Correct.
We are always very judgmental, and like you said, the shaitan he will hasut you in so many ways, and sometimes when you actually in a proper journey as well, you're headed there, but you're given the test of example istidraj, arrogance. These are all traps.
Have I been arrogant to you, brother?
God. No, I'm just kidding, Masha.
But actually, there's a lot of things we could share, actually, mashallah. But I just want to reiterate of what you said earlier, right? How my journey, that about the crying, actually, I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
But you brought it up, mashallah, Allahu Akbar. I remember the first time I really cried, right? When I in your same situation, when I took the shahada, I felt like I was just like, okay, I'm just doing for the sake of Allah, and that's about it. But as I trained myself, and this is what my teacher told me previously, to train ourselves, in order for us to be closer to Allah, and I start zikir. At that time, I was a new Muslim. The second year, right? I start, zikir Ya Wahab, Maha Memberi. Yeah, I start zikir. And I realized once I zikir the name of Allah, and so on, right? It actually, why we are not, and today you can see some of the videos that I've done before, many years back. I even wept while I was talking. Because we are so, as men, of course, we are so egoistic. We are the alpha, right? And then, actually, inside here is so much of, like heart. Like a stone that we haven't broken it.
Yeah.
So once you zikir for the sake of Allah, and this is actually, Allah is actually purifying it, taking all the dirt and making us softer.
Yeah.
And that time, I remember there's once I went to Seremban for a kuliah, and I went to pray. I did my 2 rakaat sunat before I actually went for the kuliah, went to present in a kuliah. And once I did my 2 rakat, at that particular moment, I wept for no reason. And I can feel that now I feel that I'm closer to Allah. When I pray, I feel Allah is in front of me. That I can feel that Allah is there, and I'm bowing down to Allah now.
Senses the presence.
Allah Akbar. And that is one of the tips I would like to give today, mashallah. If you want to be closer to Allah, always recite the name of Allah. If it takes 10,000 times, please do it. Because you need to train yourself to be better. Because believe me or not, we are not going to be here forever.
Yes.
When Allah is going to give the hidayah to us, we don't know. But when Allah gives the chance for you, like today you've heard this, what you can do is spread it around.
That's right.
Just share it, because probably and yes, there will be 1, 2, or even 10,000 people will be listening to this or more, and probably might change a bit of their life. A bit of their life, that Allah jentik hati dia. Just jentik, and then they might just like, oh yeah, I think I'm not doing that now. Correct, brother? Huh?
Yeah.
So do we still have time to talk about his? You really release a new song, right?
Oh yes, Hidayah.
Can we talk about this? Yeah, it is also in line with our
With
this
the
one.
topic. So basically, it wasn't planned. It was just totally out of like just out of friendship, actually, because a friend of mine, Adi from Saujana, and Azalino from the group Saujana Nasheed group, they called me up to actually come and record a demo, a vocal demo for a song that they had for someone else.
Okay.
And I went there to record, actually, and the song was Hidayah. And then after a week later, they called me up and they were like, Damian, I think this song suits you better. What you did was great, and they loved how I sang on the song. And I was like, hey, but that's just a demo. Can I come back and record again? Then they were like, no, because we're going to release it for Raya. I'm like, huh?
This year?
Yeah, no, last year.
Last year.
Yeah, last Raya.
Oh, last Raya, this year, yeah.
So that was the first time they actually put it out and they released it. And, I was like, totally what is this?
It's a blessing from Allah.
Unplanned, yeah. It was just unplanned. So when I did that, it was actually basically out of the fact that I had all these hit songs previously, but nothing was very nothing really reminded us of our purpose and where I'm at right now.
Correct.
So I thought of doing something a little bit more age appropriate. I decided, okay lah, it was
age appropriate.
Yeah. And it was giving out a positive message. So I thought to myself, because we don't know when our time will come.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't want my picture to be attached with Pop Ye or Party Like This. So I thought, Hidayah would be a good message, to be released. So in case in memory of me later on, they will have a good background music.
So you're preparing already lah.
We are all preparing.
Exactly.
And the thing is, you see, that's the thing. When we become Muslims, either Muslims, born Muslims, or new Muslims, or soon to be Muslims, what we have to understand is that we should not be afraid to face challenges.
Correct.
Challenges will always come. We shouldn't be afraid to face problems.
Yeah.
Problems are always going to be there. We just need to figure out how we're going to solve it.
Correct.
And to be steadfast with our beliefs.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And a lot of people,
and leave it to Allah.
That's right.
A lot of people keep it here, really.
Yes.
That's what people say that when you keep on, like what I said just now, right? The problems, right? We don't submit it to Allah.
Yeah.
We think that with our ability we can settle it, but no.
That's right.
And you come back with more problems, because you can't solve it and whatever. Actually, what Allah is trying to do is for us to come back to Him, as Allah.
And Allah knows best.
Yes, Allah knows best. The best solution that can be given is from Allah.
Yeah. So to put our faith and trust in Him is the most important thing. I mean, we can look at our brothers and sisters in Palestine, how the struggle that they go through, and yet they're so steadfast with the beliefs and faith. So I just believe that is an example on and the beautiful thing about all these problems is that there are more Muslims now and being born every day, and people are coming into Islam and understanding our faith.
Yes.
It's the fastest growing religion in the world,
and a lot of people now realize that what Palestine is going through now, and how steadfast and how they are really, really, like, their Iman is like, cannot be compared with ours.
That's right.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And may Allah, grant them Firdaus Jannah. This is what they are. They are not worried. I don't see a video like, some of the videos they make extensive but most of them like, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. If that happened to us, we will not say Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that takes a lot of strength.
If you're in faith to Allah, Alhamdulillah is going to Allah. You know,
When you trust in Allah, no one can beat you.
Allah Akbar,
Right?
Allah Akbar.
So
before we end this, right?
Yeah.
We want you to sing, lah, brother.
Oi.
We got a singer. We should let him to sing, right?
Why not?
Is that allowed?
Yes, it is allowed. It is allowed.
It's a cappella, so it's all,
Actually, we already planned this, right?
Yeah.
Bring him in, let him sing, something different.
I'm quite used to this. Yeah.
Okay. Anytime when you're ready, brother.
Okay. I'll sing the chorus from Hidayah.
Okay.
Hidayah, Hidayah, syukurku ya Allah, syukurku ya Allah. Hidayah, Hidayah, benarlah hidayah milik Allah.
Masya Allah. I feel...
Suddenly I want to cry.
Yeah, it's like goosebumps, right?
Alhamdulillah. Heartfelt.
Yeah, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, brother. Is there any last word from you, probably? We are not gonna. I mean, it's not like every day we have a celebrity coming in,
MashaAllah.
right?
Yeah. Inshallah, I just dua that Allah provides ease for our brothers and sisters in Palestine and anywhere
Ameen,
around the
ameen, ya
world who
Allah,
have been
ameen, ya Allah, ameen.
you're oppressed in any way. I would like to thank IKIM FM, you, Brother Roger, and basically everybody at IKIM FM for playing my song Hidayah.
Alhamdulillah.
I would like to thank your support, my supporters, Alhamdulillah. And I hope, I really hope that you don't take me as an example, but hopefully my story and my good values could be some sort of an inspiration to, inspire other people to want to be better than I am. So, inshallah, may Allah grant us all hidayah.
Ameen, 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 ya Rabbal Alameen. Okay.
And with that being said, I would like to thank our brother Damian Mikhail, who is the Malaysian music producer and composer, and also, of course, brother Roger for their conversations for today. And we hope that this conversation can be inspiring and also motivational to you to become a better Muslim. Empower you, right? If you have any questions or would like to leave some comments onto this conversation, you can leave it on our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube, or you can leave a message through our WhatsApp at 011-29004004. So stay tuned to us next week as we have more conversations with Brother Roger and perhaps other revert to our studio. So stay tuned to IKIM FM, Inspirasi Utama Anda.